All right. Well, let's check out the next one then. So
Alright.
phase 2, I'd say the worst one here is
Dark World.
Dark World or Iron Man 3.
I thought Iron Man 3 was alright. I think there's some really good parts in Iron Man 3.
Yeah, I think like
Like seeing Iron Man destroyed. Wait a minute, Iron Man 2 is in phase 1. Iron Man 2
yeah,
is
because
pretty
it was the
rough.
next one.
But Iron Man 2
Iron
is
Man 2
more
is pretty rough.
interesting to me than Captain America.
Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of dumb, but it's fun.
Iron Man 2 is sort of like Transformers 2,
Yeah,
where it's like
just
stupid,
same thing
but it's
again.
kind of entertaining.
Yep.
Yeah. So you didn't like Iron Man 3?
I didn't dislike it. I'm just trying to think of because like okay, so Thor: Dark World is usually everyone's pick for the worst, for one of the worst ones in general.
In terms of just being a nothing film, just
Yeah.
no one remembers it.
So I
Even
actually
after
watched it a
watching
week
it?
ago, and it's better than it's always better than I remember because I never remember it, and then I watch it and I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad. Like the action's really cool, the CGI looks really good, the designs of all the characters and all the bad guys and stuff, they look great. Like they all look cool.
I remember the fighting being really good. Like the
Mhm.
effects with the fighting didn't look really CGI. I don't
Yeah.
remember exact. I have to watch it again because, yeah, I might change my mind. But I
The only problem
remember.
is the plot feels disjointed though. Like it doesn't like I was saying earlier. Like there's a point where the bad guy gives his henchman like this thing that makes him basically invincible for like a mission, and then the very next scene, like it's not like another cut from somewhere else in between. Like he gives him this thing. He's like, all right, you're invincible now, and then after that, he's just being put in the Asgard jail. They're just like leading him in there, and he's like, "What? How did he get there? Did I miss something? Was that?
I
Did he get
don't even
arrested
remember that, to
before?"
be
And then I
honest.
saw a
But
flashback
do you
of
remember? Oh,
him
but I
doing
do
that.
remember like Loki, when Loki has like no shoes on and he's like bleeding and he like tore up his cell because his mom died.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's good. I thought that was
Yeah,
like cool.
I think Loki's good. I
Yeah,
think he's just good.
yeah. I think he was good in that movie too. I'm trying to remember, but I just don't remember the movie at all. Doesn't he lose his
He's not
hand?
super good.
Yeah.
Who?
Loki? There was someone with his hand in that movie.
I don't know.
Just don't remember it at all.
Yeah, I think Iron Man's probably better than it. There's good moments, but also I didn't like it that much. Like I thought that I didn't like the bad guy in Iron Man,
In Iron Man or in Thor?
in Iron Man 3, but the bad guy in
Oh,
Thor
the
is not that memorable
Mandalorian
either.
or the
The
See,
Mandarin.
like even if people didn't like, or the Mandalorian, the Mandarin, even if people didn't like that twist, it was a pretty good twist. Like he's like a
Yeah.
movie, like an actor in front of a green screen and stuff like that. Even if you don't like it, I do think that's a cool idea. Is that
Yeah,
is
I think him being an actor was great. I just think like the what you got after that wasn't as good. Like it was a good reveal. Like, oh my gosh, he was an actor. That's kind of like funny. Like it wasn't like a joke, but I was like, oh, that's interesting. But then the guy after that wasn't like better. I don't
the
know.
like Guy Pearce. Yeah, I didn't think he was really well. Even Guy Pearce though, being that nerd at the beginning of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then having that kind of angle to it, even if people don't like it, I would make an argument that it's not bad. Because I know some people were disappointed because they're like, I wanted the real Mandarin from the comic. It sucks that we didn't get him, and
Mm-hmm.
it's stupid that Pepper Potts gets superpowers or whatever. Like people don't like it for whatever reason, but I
Yeah, I
still
forgot
think
about
like
that.
seeing Iron Man get wrecked, where he's like in the snow and he takes his mask off and he's like almost starting to get into this PTSD messed up Tony because he was so cocky in 1 and 2, and so
Yeah.
being in 3 and now all of a sudden it's a bit more serious. Oh, and like the scene on the plane fight, that's insane. That's an intense scene where they're it's like that girl and the army guy who have the powers like this where their skin turns orange and they shoot fire and stuff like that. They're on the
Mhm.
plane and they're throwing passengers out the window and he's like catching them and stuff. You remember that scene?
Oh yeah, that was
Like
a cool scene.
yeah, like there's some and then the bombs blowing up the building and then the girl friend or the girl that Tony is maybe a little bit interested in the past turns out to be a bad guy. And then Iron Man with the glove when he just gets his glove and he's like
Okay, yeah,
flying with one.
that's
Like
true.
there's some really good
He's
stuff in Iron
yeah,
Man 3.
like when he's like just being like he doesn't have his suit. He's just being like
He's got
smart.
like the nail gun.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome.
And it's and yeah, I don't know. I'll have to rewatch that one too, but I just think that there's a lot in there to appreciate, even if people
It's
don't
definitely
like.
good.
So it definitely can't be the worst. I just think it can't be
Yeah.
the worst because there's stuff to remember in that one. But Thor: Dark
I was
World
just trying to give Thor a chance because I feel like everyone always says it's the worst, and then
of
every time I
all
watch it, it's not
all
that bad.
movies.
But it's definitely not better than Iron Man 3.
Ultron is pretty rough too.
I thought about Ultron, but that one has a lot of really good moments in it.